All right, let's just get right into it. We've all been there, right? Staring down a massive, incredibly dense technical document like a 50-page Kubernetes configuration guide or a complex payment processing runbook, and you just feel your eyes completely glaze over. You know you need the information, but the sheer volume is just overwhelming. Well, today in this explainer, we are going to unlock a completely new workflow superpower. We're going to look at how to transform those overwhelming digital dust-gathering PDFs into highly engaging 10-minute audio conversations using Google's NotebookLM.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to cover the unread documentation problem, meet NotebookLM audio overviews, go over uploading your source material, customizing the AI hosts, active listening and learning, and finally, the support engineer workflow.
All right, part one, the unread documentation problem. Let's talk about the elephant in the room with these massive technical manuals. I mean, be honest for a second. When you're faced with a massive, dense B2B software document, do you actually read every single word? Or are you just skimming, frantically searching for keywords and kind of hoping for the best? Yeah, for most of us, it's definitely the latter.
And that brings us to this very real, very painful phenomenon, review paralysis. Look, we all have that folder on our desktop, the one packed with dozens of saved PDFs, white papers, and dense runbooks that we promise we'll get to later. But later rarely comes, does it? Because the intention to read almost never matches our actual execution.
And you know what? Don't feel bad, because the sources point out something absolutely validating. Forcing yourself to reread dense, complex technical material is literally cognitively expensive and boring. Your brain naturally autocorrects when you read, so staring at a 40-page white paper multiple times, it feels like a punishment. It just takes way too much mental energy. Which brings us to section 2, meet NotebookLM audio overviews. This Google AI feature completely flips the script on how we consume info.
Now, a crucial distinction here, this is not just some robotic, monotonous text-to-speech reader rattling off sentences. Not at all. It's a dynamic synthesis engine. When you fire this up, you're getting a dynamic, AI-generated podcast conversation between two hosts who sound shockingly human. We're talking natural prosody, breathing sounds, and conversational fillers. It honestly mimics a highly produced radio show perfectly.
And they don't just blindly summarize document by document either. These AI hosts actually analyze your sources. They find the common threads, they expose structural gaps, and they'll even debate conflicting viewpoints. Plus, they use clever analogies to make all those abstract ideas super concrete. It completely changes the way you process and retain information, and the best part is you don't have to stare at another screen to do it.
Moving right along to section 3, uploading your source material. Let's look at what we can actually feed into this thing. The versatility here is absolutely wild. You can dump almost anything in to bypass that manual reading process. Got a public Grafana documentation URL? Paste it right in. A massive PDF runbook? Upload it. It even handles YouTube video URLs by analyzing the transcripts, audio files, and newly added support for EPUB digital books.
And the scale is massive. You can upload up to 50 individual sources per notebook. That is a total capacity of up to 25 million words across all your sources. It is literally like building your own hyper-specific personal knowledge database. Okay, section 4, customizing the AI hosts. Let's get into the execution phase and see how to properly configure this tool. The setup is beautifully simple. Inside your Notebook Studio panel, you just click Audio Overview. But hold on, don't hit Generate just yet. You want to hit Customize first. Taking just 2 minutes to input a specific focus prompt right here dramatically levels up your results. Once you've done that, then you click Generate, grab a cup of coffee, and just wait a few minutes. You've also got options for the format itself, depending on what you need. The default is Deep Dive, which is that lively two-host conversation we mentioned. But what if you're short on time? Choose Brief, and a single host gives you the core takeaways in under 2 minutes. Uploaded your own draft, use the critique format to get constructive feedback. Or you can even have the hosts formally debate different perspectives found across your sources.
The real magic, though, happens in the prompt box. You can dictate the exact complexity and tone. For example, you could say, make this appropriate for A1 English learners, or tailor it for a highly technical B2B audience. If the AI hosts sound a bit too, peppy, you can literally tell them, make the tone less amazing and more grounded. You are completely the director of this show.
All right, section 5, active listening and learning.
Let's see how this transforms passive listening into a highly interactive experience.
This is where it gets really crazy. There's an interactive mode that turns a static audio file into a personalized tutoring session. Imagine the hosts are deep into a Comtext protocol and you get confused. You can literally raise your hand by tapping a button, type or speak your question, and the host will pause, answer you directly using only your uploaded sources, and then seamlessly jump right back into the flow. It's a total game changer.
Think about the cognitive benefits here. Listening to a 15-minute conversation on your commute a few times a week, that is effortless spaced repetition. When the hosts throw in analogies, it builds multiple mental pathways in your brain to that exact same information. Plus, if you upload your own writing, hearing it discussed out loud entirely bypasses your brain's autocorrect, instantly exposing any structural gaps in your logic.
Finally, Section 6, the support engineer workflow. Let's tie all of this together with a real-world scenario.
Picture this. A new engineer is handed a massive 50-page payment processing runbook on day one. Instead of succumbing to review paralysis, they just upload it all into NotebookLM. The next morning, before leaving the house, they generate a targeted audio overview focusing specifically on troubleshooting processes. Then, during their morning commute, which is usually just dead time, they listen. By the time they step into the office, they've already internalized the landscape. So when a complex L2 escalation hits their desk that afternoon, they pass it with flying colors, because those key concepts were already cemented conversationally.
And a massive advantage for our engineer is how the AI naturally surfaces contradictions. If an internal SOP says one thing, but a vendor doc says another, the hosts will literally point it out, saying something like, "Interestingly, this source says X while the other suggests Y." That saves hours of tedious manual cross-referencing and instantly flags exactly where the documentation is broken.
So, that brings us to the ultimate question. We all have that dreaded to-read pile of technical PDFs just sitting on our desktop. Are you going to let it keep gathering digital dust, or are you ready to upload it, generate an overview, and turn your next commute into a massive learning superpower? Go ahead, try dumping just one runbook into NotebookLM today and experience the magic for yourself. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.